फिर इजहार करो, कहीं ना फिर देर हो जाए, कहीं ना फिर देर हो जाए।
जिंदगी में तुझे पे लुटाऊंगा, जिंदगी में तुझे पे लुटाऊंगा।
ये दिन ये महीने साल गुजर जाएंगे मेरे यार।
ये दोस्ती तेरे दम से है, ये दोस्ती तेरे दम से है। अब है जुदाई का मौसम, तो पल का मेहमान।
अब कभी न कम हो बेकरारी अपनी, यूं ही बढ़ती जाए खुमारी अपनी। मोहब्बत का गम है, मिले जितना गम है, ये तो ज़माना नहीं जान पाएगा।
ये तो है दिलबर महबूब का वादा, तोड़े से न टूटे।
आँखों से बात होती है, धड़कन भी साथ होती है।
मोहब्बत की बहारों से ये दामन भर दिया तुमने, ये दामन भर दिया तुमने, ये दामन भर दिया तुमने।
नजर से बुलाए, ये बोला सुनाए, चाहत को कैसे कोई भी छुपाएगा। धीरे धीरे से वो दिल में बस जाते हैं, चोरी चोरी से वो दिल को चुराते हैं। कैसे ना मिलेगी मंजिल प्यार की।
आजा कसमों में तू, वादों में तू, हर पल रहे यादों में तू। आजा आजा
बेताबियों की शरारे पीछे ये सावन की रिमझिम झड़ी है, कदम बेखुदी में बहकने लगे हैं, ये मदहोशियों की घड़ी है।
रग रग में इस तरह तू समाने लगा, जैसे मुझी को मुझसे चुराने लगा।
दिल के बदले सनम दर्द दिल ले चुके, दे चुके, दे चुके तुझे दिल, ये दिल दे चुके।
हमने तुमको दिल दे दिया, ये भी न पूछा कौन हो तुम।
हमने तुमको दिल
इस तरह छुपा लेंगे, तुम चाहे बचो जितना हम तुमको चुरा लेंगे।
बरसात के दिन आए, मुलाकात के दिन आए,
अक्सर तन्हाई में तुझे पुकारे, नाज़ुर दिल पे चले।
दिल मेरा ले गई लुट के, चोरी चोरी चुपके चुपके।
ये फैसला जो दिल ने किया, ये फैसला जो दिल ने किया, तेरी आशिकी में जाना दुनिया भुला देंगे, तुम चाहे बचो जितना हम तुमको चुरा लेंगे। हम सोच में थे जिनके उस रात के दिन आए, फैसला जो किया तो ये भी न सोचा हो।
हमने तुमको दिल ये दे दिया, ये भी न पूछा कौन।
हारे हारे हारे, हम तो दिल से हारे। सुनता नहीं कहना कोई भी, दिल बेखबर जिद पे अड़ा है।
न तुम होश में हो न हम होश में हैं, बहक जाए ना तुम संभालो हमें।
अब तुमको ही देख के सांसें चलती है सनम।
मैंने सब कुछ तेरे प्यार को दे दिया, कुछ पे रब से भी ज्यादा भरोसा किया।
तुम पे यकीन आ गया, ये कैसा इतबार है, क्या है ये दिल की बेबसी, जाना इसका प्यार है।
हर खुशी मिल गई, आशिकी मिल गई।
सारी रस्मों को मैं तोड़ दूं, तू कहे तो ये दुनिया भी मैं छोड़ दूं। हम तो चलो दीवाने सही, पर नहीं बताओ कौन हो तुम। ये फैसला जो दिल ने किया तब ये भी न सोचा कौन।
गुजारिश यही है तमन्नाओं की, सनम बाजुओं में उठा लो हमें।
हम तो तेरे ही हो चुके, ख्वाब में तेरे खो चुके, दे चुके तुझे दिल ये दिल दे चुके। हारे हारे हारे, हम तो दिल से हारे।
फैसला जो किया तो ये भी न सोचा हो।
हमने तुमको दिल ये दे दिया, ये भी न पूछा कौन।
ये वफा टूट गई, चोरी चोरी चुपके चुपके।
खूबसूरत है वो, दिल का मेहमान है, मेरे महबूब की ये ही पहचान है।
चांद से पर्दा
कीजिए, कहीं चुरा न ले चेहरे का नूर। मैं दुनिया बुला दूंगा तेरी चाहत में। मत पूछ मेरे महबूब सनम, तुझे कितना प्यार मैं करता हूँ। मेरे दिल ने चुपके से तेरा दिल चुरा लिया। सातों जन्म में तेरे मैं साथ रहूंगा यार। दिल कहता है चल उनसे मिल, उठते हैं कदम रुक जाते हैं। सुन मेरी शहजादी, मैं हूँ तेरा शहजादा। तेरे प्यार में कैसे कहूँ क्या दर्द है दिया। फूल से पर्दा कीजिए, कहीं चुरा न ले चेहरे का नूर। वो हंसी दिलरुबा दिल चुरा के गई, मेरी चाहत है वो मेरा अरमान है। हाल मेरा तुझे क्या पता, तू धड़कन तू है मेरी जान। मुझे तुझसे मिलने से रुकेगा क्या ज़माना। तुम ही सनम मेरे दिन रात में। रब से पर्दा कीजिए, कहीं चुरा न ले चेहरे का नूर। है जाने तमन्ना मेरी, मैं खा के कसम तेरी। दिल हमको कभी समझाता है, हम दिल को कभी समझाते हैं। जुल्फों से उड़ी खुशबू प्यार की, एक दिन वो मिली मुस्कुरा के गई। दर्द दिल मेरे दिल में जगा के गई। सुन मेरी शहजादी, मैं हूँ तेरा शहजादा। मेरी निगाहों ने छुप के तेरा हंसी ख्वाब देखा। देखा तुझे जाने वफा, दिल के हुए अरमान जवान। वो दिन थे क्या हंसी, दोनों थे साथ में। सीने से लग जा तू, मैं हूँ तेरा दीवाना। थोड़ी मासूम है थोड़ी नादान है, मेरे महबूब की ये ही पहचान है। ऐ मेरे हमनवा, ऐ मेरे हुसूर। ओ दुश्मन जमाना मुझे ना भुलाना, मैं खुद को मिटा दूंगा। आशिकों में सबसे।
ये बंधन दिलों के बंधन, ये नाते दिलों के नाते, तय होते हैं अंबर पे, धरती पे जोड़े जाते।
बिन साजन झूला झूलूं, मैं वादा कैसे भूलूं, जी करता है ये मेरा, मैं उड़ के गगन को छू लूं।
आज हमें मालूम हुआ क्या चीज मुहाबत होती है। जन्म में तेरे मैं साथ रहूंगा यार। देख के सूरत प्यारी प्यारी, भूल गए हम दुनिया सारी।
प्यार के दरिया में खिलता हुआ कमल है।
राखी के कच्चे धागों से क्या बंधन है बनाए।
बंधन ये बंधन, कितनी अकेली हूँ मैं, यादों की सहेली हूँ मैं, अब तो एक पहेली हूँ मैं। आजा
बाहों में लेके तुझे मैं करता हूँ वादा।
मेरी शायरी पसंद आए।
बता मुझको सनम मेरे, तुझे कैसी मैं लगती हूँ।
मैं खा के कसम तेरी ये करता हूँ इकरार।
हुस्न के रंगों से लिखी हुई गजल है।
कोई भी दिल में न समाया मुझे मेरे रब की कसम। बाहों में लेके तुझे मैं करता हूँ वादा।
हर पल तेरे प्यार को तरसे मेरा दिल, दूर मेरी आंखों से है सपनों की मंजिल।
ओ नीले अंबर वाले तेरे भी खेल निराले, नीले पीले धागों से रंग जीवन के रंग डाले। मैंने देखा ना कहीं थी तेरे जैसा हसीना जवान।
तमन्ना कभी छूटे, तारे ना कभी टूटे, तेरा रास्ता देखते रहते थे ये नैन। तू ना जाने साजना कैसे कटे दिन रे। छोड़ो छोड़ो मेरा आंचल, शर्म के मारे झुक गई आंखें।
ये बंधन दिलों के बंधन, ये नाते दिलों के नाते, तय होते हैं अंबर पे, धरती पे जोड़े जाते। फूलों पे जवानी आई, रुत क्या सुहानी आई, नई जिंदगानी लाई ना जा।
दुआ है मेरी रब से, तुझे आशिकों में सबसे। तू मेरे सामने, मैं तेरे सामने, तुझको देखूं के प्यार करूं। ये बादल की चादर, ये तारों के आंचल में छुप जाए हम पल दो पल हो।
चांद तारों में नजर आए चेहरा तेरा, जब से मेरे दिल पे हुआ है सनम पहरा तेरा।
जानो देख लो मिट गई दूरियां, मैं यहाँ हूँ यहाँ हूँ यहाँ हूँ यहाँ। मैंने जिसको प्यार किया है, जिसको प्यार किया है,
मेरे दिल का राजा बन जाए तेरे दिल की रानी।
तेरी जुल्फों से खेलूंगा मैं, तुझको बाहों में ले लूंगा मैं।
इस बात पे चांद भी बिगड़ा, कतरा कतरा वो
के दिल पर मुझे लग रहा है मेरी जिंदगी में ना अब कुछ कमी है। जीता था पहले भी मगर यूं था लगता जीने में शायद कहीं कुछ कमी है।
एक दूजे के दिल में अपना घर बनाना है, तेरी खातिर सभी हदों से गुजर जाना है। तुम छुपा ना सकोगे मैं वो राज हूँ, तुम भुला ना सकोगे वो अंदाज हूँ। चल वो चौबारे ढूंढे जिनमें चाहत की बूंदें सच कर दे सपनों को सभी। पलक तक चल साथ मेरे, पलक तक चल साथ चल,
पलक तक चल साथ मेरे, पलक तक चल साथ चल। टूट गई टूट के मैं चूर हो गई, तेरी जिद से मजबूर हो गई।
कैसी सरहदें कैसी मजबूरियां, मैं यहाँ हूँ यहाँ हूँ यहाँ हूँ।
वो तुम 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 वो तुम।
जब से मेरा दिल पे हुआ है सनम पहरा तेरा,
चांद तारों में नजर आए चेहरा तेरा। तू लफ्जों में लिख दी मैंने अपनी बेपरवाही, तू मेरे दिल का राजा बन जा मैं तेरे दिल की रानी।
मेरे सामने मैं तेरे सामने तुझको देखूं के प्यार करूं। अरे भोली सी सूरत आंखों में मस्ती दूर खड़ी शर्माए, एक झलक दिखलाए कभी कभी आंचल में छुप जाए। देखने वालों ने क्या क्या नहीं देखा होगा, मेरा दावा है कि तुझसा नहीं देखा होगा। सिलसिले मुलाकातों के ना छोड़िएगा ना छोड़िएगा। धीरे धीरे आना मेरा चैन चुराना, चैन चुरा के मेरा दिल धड़काना। अनजानी राहों में है बाहें हम ही नहीं हमारे, क्योंकि इतना प्यार तुमको करते हैं हम। क्या जानोगे हमारी सनम, तूने ओ जाना दीवाना किया है, दीवाना किया इस कदर, दीवाना किया इस कदर।
हम हैं सनम बेवफा, ना सोचिएगा सिलसिले मुलाकातों के।
आँख खुली तो दिल चाहा फिर नींद मुझे आ जाए, बिन देखे ये हाल हुआ देखूं तो क्या हो जाए। अनजानी राहों में है बाहें हम ही नहीं हमारे,
किसी ने तेरा रास्ता नहीं देखा होगा,
देखने वालों ने क्या क्या नहीं देखा होगा। रगों में मोहब्बत का एहसास जरा भर लो, हम तुम पे मरते हैं थोड़ी सी फिक्र कर लो। हम हैं सनम पे वफा, ना सोचिएगा सिलसिले मुलाकातों के। लड़की नहीं है वो जादू है और कहा क्या जाए, रात को मेरे ख्वाब में आई वो जुल्फें बिखराए। तौबा तौबा।
Imagine a sprawling American city at dusk. The skyline, once a beacon of progress and opportunity, now flickers with uncertainty. Streetlights illuminate empty sidewalks, and the once constant hum of urban life has been replaced by a quiet, almost unsettling stillness. This isn't a scene from a post-apocalyptic movie. It's the reality for a growing number of cities across the United States. What drives people, sometimes generations of the same family, to pack up their lives and leave behind everything they've ever known? It's a question that cuts to the very heart of the American dream. Is the dream fading in the places that once defined it? Tonight, we're going to take a hard look at that question. I'm Jordan Miller, and we're embarking on a journey across the country, not to the bustling hubs of growth, but to the cities on the brink. These are places where for sale signs are more common than welcome mats, where the echo of footsteps in once thriving neighborhoods has grown faint. We'll investigate the complex web of economic hardship, social challenges, and personal decisions that are fueling a modern-day exodus. This isn't just about numbers on a census report. It's about the human stories behind those numbers. It's about the soul of a city, and what happens when that soul begins to fracture. We'll explore the 10 United States cities facing the most significant population declines in 2026, examining the root causes and speaking to the reality on the ground. Join me as we uncover why so many Americans are saying goodbye to home. Our journey begins in St. Louis, Missouri. The iconic Gateway Arch stands as a powerful symbol of westward expansion, a monument to a nation on the move. But today, the movement here is outward, not westward. For decades, the city has been grappling with a steady, relentless decline in its population. The numbers are stark, painting a picture of a city that is hollowing out from the inside. The vibrant promise that once drew people to the banks of the Mississippi seems to be fading, leaving many to wonder if the gateway is now an exit. What's driving this exodus? It's a complex and deeply rooted combination of factors. The economic engine that once powered St. Louis has sputtered. The decline of manufacturing industries, which were the backbone of the city's middle class for generations, left a void that has never been fully filled. This economic downturn has created a ripple effect, impacting everything from employment opportunities to the city's tax base, making it harder to fund the very services residents rely on. This economic strain is compounded by a persistent and deeply concerning issue: crime. St. Louis has consistently registered one of the highest crime rates in the nation. This isn't just a statistic, it's a daily reality for the people who live here. It influences decisions about where to raise a family, where to start a business, and ultimately, whether to stay or go. The fear and insecurity bred by crime create an environment where the perceived risks of staying begin to outweigh the comforts of home. For many residents, the decision to leave is agonizing. They are leaving behind family history, community ties, and a deep-seated love for their city. But they are also seeking stability and safety. They are looking for better schools for their children, more promising job prospects, and a sense of security that they feel has eroded in their own neighborhoods. It's a trade-off between the known past and the hope for a more secure future. The result is a landscape of quiet streets and vacant homes in once bustling neighborhoods. Each empty house tells a story of a family that made the difficult choice to leave. As we look at the data for 2026, the trend shows no sign of slowing down. St. Louis finds itself at a critical juncture, facing the monumental task of not only stopping the bleed, but also creating compelling reasons for people to stay, and perhaps one day, return. From St. Louis, we travel north to a city that is perhaps the most famous symbol of American industrial might and its subsequent decline: Detroit, Michigan. The name itself conjures powerful images: the birthplace of the automobile, the heart of the American arsenal during World War II, the sound of Motown. For much of the 20th century, Detroit wasn't just a city, it was an idea, a testament to what American ingenuity and labor could build. Its factories drew in workers from all over the country and the world, promising a good wage and a piece of the American dream. Today, the contrast between that glorious past and the present reality is staggering. The assembly lines that once roared with activity are now silent. The grand factories, monuments to a bygone era, now stand as hollow shells, their windows shattered like broken promises. The population, which peaked at nearly 1.85 million in 1950, has plummeted dramatically. This isn't just a population shift, it's a hollowing out of a metropolis, leaving behind a ghost of its former self. Walking through some Detroit neighborhoods is a surreal experience. You can see entire blocks where only one or two houses remain occupied, standing as lonely sentinels amidst a landscape of vacant lots and derelict structures. nature is slowly reclaiming what was once a dense urban environment. This urban prairie, as it's sometimes called, is the physical manifestation of depopulation. It's a visual reminder of the thousands of families who left in search of work as the auto industry contracted and outsourced. The economic fallout was catastrophic. The loss of the city's primary industry created a domino effect of joblessness, poverty, and a shrinking tax base. This led to a crisis in public services. Schools, police, fire departments all struggled with inadequate funding. The city's bankruptcy in 2013 was a historic moment, a stark admission of the depth of the crisis. While there are pockets of revitalization, particularly in the downtown core, the recovery has been uneven. For the residents who remain, life is a daily testament to resilience, but the challenges are immense. The lack of grocery stores in some areas, the unreliability of public transportation, and the sheer emptiness of their surroundings create a sense of isolation. The story of Detroit in 2026 is a tale of two cities, one of a resurgent downtown, and another, much larger one, still grappling with the long, painful shadow of its industrial collapse and the continued exodus of its people. Our next stop brings us to the East Coast, to Baltimore, Maryland. Known as Charm City, Baltimore is rich with history, a vibrant port city with unique, tight-knit neighborhoods. From the bustling inner harbor to the historic cobblestone streets of Fells Point, the city has a character all its own. For generations, this character was defined by the people who lived and worked here, building communities in the iconic row houses that line the city's streets. But that population is shrinking, and with it, a piece of the city's soul. Baltimore has been experiencing a steady bleed of residents for years, a trend that continues unabated into 2026. The reasons are a familiar, unfortunate cocktail of urban challenges. Economic opportunities have dwindled for many. The city, once a hub for manufacturing and shipping, has struggled to adapt to a post-industrial economy. While sectors like healthcare and education are major employers, they haven't been enough to offset the loss of well-paying blue-collar jobs that once supported thousands of families. This economic precarity is exacerbated by social instability and high crime rates, which have plagued the city and dominated headlines. The cycle of poverty, lack of opportunity, and violence is a vicious one, and it has driven many families to a breaking point. The decision to leave is often not a rejection of Baltimore itself, but a desperate search for a safer environment and a brighter future for their children. The constant worry erodes the quality of life, making the allure of suburban or out-of-state stability too strong to ignore. The impact on local communities is profound and visible. In neighborhoods across West and East Baltimore, you can see rows of vacant and boarded-up row houses, known locally as vacants. These empty homes are more than just an eyesore. They are a sign of community unraveling. They devalue surrounding properties, become magnets for crime, and represent a family that has left. Each boarded-up window is a story of departure, a silent testament to the city's shrinking population. Despite these challenges, there is a fierce pride among those who stay. Community activists and local leaders are fighting tirelessly to reclaim their neighborhoods, to create opportunities, and to address the root causes of the violence. But they are fighting against a powerful tide of outmigration. The question for Baltimore is whether it can solve its deeply entrenched problems fast enough to convince its people that Charm City is still a place worth calling home. We now head back to the Midwest, to Cleveland, Ohio, a city whose story is deeply intertwined with the narrative of the American Rust Belt. Situated on the shores of Lake Erie, Cleveland was once an industrial powerhouse, a leader in steel production and manufacturing. Its skyline was forged in fire and industry, and its neighborhoods were built by the hands of workers who flocked here for steady, union-protected jobs. It was a city that built things, a cornerstone of America's industrial might. The latter half of the 20th century was not kind to Cleveland. The forces of globalization and deindustrialization hit the city like a wrecking ball. The steel mills that once lit up the night sky went dark, one by one. The sprawling manufacturing plants closed their gates, leaving tens of thousands of workers unemployed. The economic foundation of the city crumbled, and with it, the population began a long and painful decline that continues to this day. The exodus from Cleveland was, and still is, primarily a search for work. When the jobs disappeared, so did the people. Generations of families who had known nothing but life in Cleveland were forced to relocate. seeking opportunities in the Sunbelt or other regions with growing economies. This left behind a city with a diminished tax base, struggling to maintain its infrastructure and provide basic services to a smaller and often poorer population. The physical scars of this depopulation are evident throughout the city. While downtown Cleveland has seen significant investment and revitalization, with new stadiums and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame drawing visitors, many of the surrounding neighborhoods tell a different story. Here, you find abandoned homes, shuttered storefronts, and a quietness that feels out of place in a major American city. The infrastructure, built for a much larger population, is now aging and oversized, a constant costly reminder of what's been lost. Cleveland is a city of immense resilience, fighting to reinvent itself for the 21st century. It's becoming a hub for healthcare and technology, with institutions like the Cleveland Clinic leading the way. But this transition is slow, and it hasn't been enough to reverse the demographic tide. The challenge for Cleveland in 2026 is to bridge the gap between its revitalized core and its struggling neighborhoods, and to create an economy that provides opportunities for all its remaining residents, giving them a reason to believe in a comeback. We now travel south to a city unlike any other in America, New Orleans, Louisiana, the Big Easy, a city celebrated for its vibrant music, unique cuisine, and irrepressible spirit. Life here has always moved to its own rhythm, a fusion of cultures that created something truly special. But in 2005, that rhythm was violently disrupted by Hurricane Katrina. The storm and the subsequent failure of the federal levee system left a wound on the city that, even now, nearly 2 decades later, has not fully healed. The immediate aftermath of Katrina saw a massive forced displacement of residents. The images of flooded neighborhoods and desperate people are etched into our national memory. While many returned, driven by an unbreakable bond with their home, a significant portion of the population never did. The city's pre-Katrina population has not been fully recovered, and the demographic makeup of New Orleans was permanently altered. The storm didn't just wash away homes. For many, it washed away the feasibility of returning. The long-term effects of the storm continue to fuel a slower, more deliberate outmigration. The cost of living, particularly housing and insurance, has skyrocketed. Rebuilding was an expensive and often bureaucratic nightmare. For many working-class families, especially in the African American community, the financial barriers to returning and staying became insurmountable. The city that has always been their home suddenly became a place they could no longer afford. Beyond the lingering storm effects, New Orleans faces other significant pressures. A tourism-dependent economy can be volatile, and while it provides jobs, many are low-wage positions that make it difficult to build a stable life. Furthermore, like other cities on our list, New Orleans struggles with a high rate of violent crime, which adds another layer of stress and instability for residents. This combination of economic precarity, high costs, and safety concerns is pushing more locals to seek opportunities elsewhere. The spirit of New Orleans is legendary for its resilience. You can feel it in the jazz clubs of the French Quarter and in the neighborhood's second-line parades. But resilience has its limits when faced with systemic economic and environmental challenges. The city is getting whiter and wealthier, a demographic shift that threatens the very culture that makes New Orleans unique. In 2026, the city is still fighting the aftershocks of the storm, struggling to hold on to the people who are its heart and soul. Our investigation now takes us to the northern edge of the country, to Buffalo, New York. Once known as the Queen City of the Great Lakes, Buffalo was a titan of the Gilded Age. Its strategic location on the Erie Canal and proximity to Niagara Falls powered a booming economy based on grain, steel, and manufacturing. The city's magnificent architecture and grand park systems, designed by Frederick Law Olmsted, are a testament to a time of immense wealth and civic pride. It was, for a time, one of the most important cities in America. Like so many of its Rust Belt counterparts, Buffalo's fortunes turned in the mid-20th century. The opening of the St. Lawrence Seaway diverted shipping traffic away from the Erie Canal, and the manufacturing sector began its long, slow decline. The jobs that had built the city vanished, and the people followed. For more than half a century, Buffalo experienced one of the most significant and sustained population losses of any major American city, shrinking to less than half of its peak size. The consequences of this long decline are written on the city's landscape. Buffalo is home to some of the oldest housing stock in the country, and decades of depopulation and economic hardship have led to an aging, and in many places, crumbling infrastructure. Entire neighborhoods are filled with vacant homes and abandoned industrial sites. The sheer scale of the decline created a sense of inertia, a feeling that the city's best days were firmly in the past. However, Buffalo's story in 2026 is more complex than simple decline. In recent years, there has been a concerted and surprisingly successful effort at revitalization. The downtown waterfront has been transformed, and billions of dollars in investment have poured into the medical campus and technology sectors. There's a palpable sense of hope and renewal in certain parts of the city, a Buffalo Billion initiative aimed at jump-starting the economy. Despite this positive momentum, the city as a whole is still losing residents. The revitalization has not yet been strong enough to reverse the decades-long trend of outmigration, especially from the city's east side, which continues to struggle with poverty and vacancy. Buffalo is a city in transition, a fascinating case study of a place fighting to redefine itself. The challenge is immense, to spread the benefits of renewal beyond the downtown core and convince people that the Queen City's future can be as bright as its illustrious past. We head back down south to Birmingham, Alabama, a city born from iron and steel. Nicknamed the Magic City for its rapid growth in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Birmingham was the industrial heart of the Deep South. Its hills, rich with coal, iron ore, and limestone, the three raw materials for steel, made it a natural center for heavy industry. The Sloss furnaces, now a National Historic Landmark, stand as a rugged monument to the city's industrial heritage and the thousands of workers who toiled there. That industrial engine, which once seemed unstoppable, began to falter in the latter half of the 20th century. As the American steel industry waned, so did Birmingham's primary economic driver. The closure and downsizing of mills and mines led to widespread job losses, setting in motion a familiar pattern of population decline. The city that grew like magic began to shrink as families left in search of employment in more diverse and modern economies. The effect of this decline on local businesses and communities has been profound. A smaller population and a weaker economy mean less support for small businesses, the lifeblood of any city. Storefronts that were once hubs of neighborhood life now sit empty in some areas. The city has worked hard to diversify its economy, successfully pivoting towards medicine, research, banking, and technology. The University of Alabama at Birmingham, or UAB, has become the city's new economic engine, a sprawling campus of hospitals and research labs. This transition, however, has created a city of contrasts. There is a palpable energy and growth in the areas surrounding UAB and in the revitalized downtown Loft District, which attract young professionals. But this growth hasn't been enough to offset the continued population loss in other parts of the city, particularly in historically black neighborhoods that were most dependent on the old industrial jobs and have been slowest to benefit from the new economy. Birmingham's journey is one of profound transformation, moving from a blue-collar industrial town to a white-collar center of medicine and finance. But this transformation is honestly incomplete. The ongoing population loss, even as parts of the city boom, highlights the deep-seated inequalities and the challenge of ensuring that the benefits of the new economy reach all residents. The Magic City is still searching for the right formula to stop the exodus and build a truly inclusive future for everyone. Our travels take us back to the Rust Belt, to a city that is often held up as the poster child for post-industrial reinvention, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The Steel City was once the smoky, gritty, undisputed capital of American steel production. The fortunes of Carnegie, Frick, and Mellon were forged here, and the city's rivers ran thick with industrial traffic. Its identity was synonymous with hard labor, heavy industry, and the soot that famously covered the city. When the steel industry collapsed, in the 1970s and 80s, the impact on Pittsburgh was devastating. The region lost over 150,000 manufacturing jobs in a single decade. The population plummeted as unemployed workers and their families left in droves, a traumatic exodus that hollowed out the city and the surrounding mill towns. For a time, it seemed Pittsburgh might never recover, destined to become just another relic of the industrial age. But then, something remarkable happened. Pittsburgh began a long, deliberate, and largely successful transformation. Leveraging the strength of its universities, Carnegie Mellon and the University of Pittsburgh, the city reinvented itself, as a leader in technology, robotics, artificial intelligence, and healthcare. Google, Uber, and other tech giants set up major offices here, drawn by the talent and research pouring out of the universities. The Smoky City became a hub for eds and meds. This tech resurgence has brought new life and new people to the city. Neighborhoods like Lawrenceville and East Liberty, once gritty and working class, are now trendy hotspots with craft breweries, art galleries, and soaring real estate prices. This is the comeback story that gets told, but it's not the whole story. While the city's overall population has stabilized and even shown slight growth in some years, it masks a more complex reality. Beneath the surface of this tech boom, many of the city's traditional older neighborhoods, particularly in the outlying areas and adjacent boroughs, continue to experience population decline. The new economy has not lifted all boats. Longtime residents, especially those without college degrees, are often priced out of the revitalized areas and don't have the skills for the new tech jobs. Pittsburgh's challenge in 2026 is managing this dual reality, nurturing its high-tech boom while ensuring that the people and communities that form the city's backbone are not left behind in the new Pittsburgh. We return to the south, to Memphis, Tennessee, a city with a soul as deep as the Mississippi River that flows beside it. This is the home of the blues, the birthplace of rock and roll. From the raw emotion of Beale Street to the hallowed halls of Graceland, Memphis has a cultural legacy that is recognized around the world. It's a city built on music, history, and a distinct gritty authenticity. But beneath that vibrant cultural surface, Memphis is facing a crisis of confidence that is causing many of its residents to leave. One of the most significant factors driving people away from Memphis is the city's stubbornly high crime rate. For years, Memphis has struggled with levels of violent crime that are among the highest in the nation. This isn't an abstract statistic for those who live here. It's a pervasive reality that affects their sense of safety and their daily decisions. The fear of carjackings, robberies, and gun violence creates a constant, low-level anxiety that wears people down and makes the idea of living somewhere else incredibly appealing, especially for families with children. Economic challenges add another layer of pressure. While Memphis is a major logistics hub, home to FedEx's global headquarters, and has a solid economic base, it has struggled to generate enough high-paying jobs to lift large segments of the population out of poverty. The city has one of the highest poverty rates among large U.S. cities, and this lack of economic mobility makes it difficult for many to see a long-term future here. People are leaving in search of better wages and more opportunities for advancement. The combination of safety concerns and limited economic prospects creates a powerful incentive to depart. Residents, even those with deep roots and a love for the city's culture, find themselves weighing the pros and cons, and for a growing number, the cons are winning. They are moving to nearby suburbs in Mississippi and Arkansas, or leaving the region entirely, taking their tax dollars and their community involvement with them. This exodus poses a threat to the very fabric of Memphis. A city's culture isn't just in its landmarks, it's in its people. As residents leave, neighborhoods can become destabilized, and the tax base needed to fund police, schools, and community programs shrinks, potentially making the root problems even worse. The challenge for Memphis is immense: to address the deep-seated issues of crime and poverty head-on, and to convince its people that the home of the blues is a home worth staying for. For our final city, we head west to California, but not to the glittering coasts of Los Angeles or the tech hubs of Silicon Valley. We go inland, to Stockton, a city in the heart of the Central Valley. Stockton's story is a uniquely Californian tragedy, a place that experienced a massive housing boom, a catastrophic bust, and has been struggling to find its footing ever since. It's a city that serves as a stark reminder of the volatility of the American dream. During the housing bubble of the mid-2000s, Stockton was one of the fastest-growing cities in the nation. Developers built vast tracts of new homes, and people flocked here from the expensive Bay Area, drawn by the promise of affordable homeownership. The city's population swelled, and on the surface, everything looked prosperous. But the foundation was built on risky subprime mortgages, and when the market collapsed in 2008, it hit Stockton harder than almost anywhere else in the country. The city became the epicenter of the foreclosure crisis. For sale signs and foreclosure notices sprouted on lawn after lawn. The housing bust cratered the city's finances, which were heavily dependent on property taxes and development fees. In 2012, Stockton became the largest U.S. city at the time to declare bankruptcy. The crash left deep and lasting scars, both on the city's budget and on the lives of its residents who lost their homes and their savings. In the years since, Stockton has struggled with the after-effects: high unemployment, rampant poverty, and significant problems with crime. The visible emptiness is striking. You can drive through sprawling subdivisions from the boom years and see vacant homes and neglected yards, a landscape of broken dreams. The promise that drew so many people here evaporated, and a slow but steady exodus began, as people sought stability and opportunity elsewhere. Today, even as California's economy has recovered, Stockton continues to face immense challenges. It's caught in a difficult position, too expensive for many of its low-income residents, yet lacking the high-paying jobs and amenities of the coastal cities. This economic squeeze, combined with public safety concerns, continues to push people out. Stockton's story is a cautionary tale about the dangers of a boom-and-bust economy and the human cost of a dream that proves to be unsustainable. St. Louis, Detroit, Baltimore, and 7 other cities. 10 distinct places, each with its own history, its own culture, its own soul. Yet, as we've seen, they are all bound by a common, troubling thread. They are shrinking. The reasons are complex. The ghosts of lost industry, the persistent shadows of crime and poverty, the lingering trauma of natural disasters and economic collapse. These aren't just local issues. They are American issues, reflecting a nation at a crossroads, where the promise of opportunity no longer shines equally in all its corners. The story of these cities is a story about the changing nature of the American dream. It's a narrative of resilience and struggle, of people fighting for their communities and families, making the heartbreaking choice to seek a better life elsewhere. This exodus raises fundamental questions for all of us. What do we owe these cities that helped build our nation? How do we ensure that revitalization doesn't leave long-time residents behind? And what happens to the identity of a country when its historic heartlands begin to empty out? As we end, picture this: a single lit window on a dark street in one of these cities. Behind that window is a family, a business owner, a community leader who has chosen to stay, to fight, to rebuild. Their solitary light is a flicker of defiance against the encroaching emptiness. The future of these great American cities, and perhaps the country itself, depends on whether that single light can become a beacon, powerful enough to guide people not away, but back home. The question is, will we help them tend the flame?